Hi folks, hope you're doing well. So, okay. Why it's very, very difficult for Jewish people to accept Yeshua. And equally, for the same reasons, why it's very, very difficult for people to come out of dead churches into what God is doing now. It really is pretty much the same reason. Yeah. If you've been in a situation where you've given your life to God in a certain way, in a certain understanding, in a certain church, in a certain belief, realising after 30, 40 years that you were wrong, that realisation that you were wrong, that's something that people just can't deal with. They just can't deal with that. It's easier to stay in something that you know is dead. Easier. And the problem is, it's not a point of age, really, of people, but a lot of people are tired. They're very, very tired, and they've had difficult journeys, and so, yeah. It's easier just to stay in what you're in and hope that somehow God's going to turn that into, what He's doing now. Yeah. Yeah. I said in the one yesterday that if somebody refuses to come under you and you've tried to help that person, and that person comes to you in the future, should you help them? Or more to the point, are you going to be willing to help them? Ooh, okay. Looking at it from a biblical, again, yeah. It all goes back to forget any of that stuff, really. Focus on what does God want? Because, okay, God might have wanted you to be involved in that person's life and to try and bring that person to where you are. To help the person to come to where you are. But they refused. Okay. That's cool. They can refuse. Yeah. But it might not be you that God wants to use the next time. And so just because someone looks to you and wants you to help them, it might not be you. It's exactly the same as when I was talking about giving. That somebody might have a need for £1,000. God tells you to give them 700. Right? They've already told you they need 1,000. You've got 1,000, but God has told you to give 700. What are you going to do? You should give 700, right? But according to a lot of people in church and in the world, they would say, give the 1,000. You got the 1,000, give that. The problem is, if God wants to use someone else to give them 1,000, or God wants them to only have 700, He wants them to go to Him again for the 300. Or He wants to deal with that in another way. Now you've got in the way of that a bit, haven't you? God's going to have to teach that person what He wanted to teach them another way now, because you have done you. Right? So with regards to bringing someone to you, again, we don't pick. No. Who we disciple, we don't pick. We don't pick not two, and we don't pick two. We shouldn't. We shouldn't try. Because, if we're trying to bring the wrong people and we're trying to force them under us, that's not going to help, is it? Really? So, can't do that. Especially if you've got someone coming to you again after a failed attempt. You might be a bit more forceful, and if you're not supposed to be the one doing that, that's not going to help. Because naturally, if they come to you again, you might be a little bit stricter with them next time. You might be. Yeah. speak to God about the issue of, where people are, as I said, the idea of why people don't receive what God is doing now. Because I said before, it is a case that these old churches, the Baptist Church, the Methodist Church, United Reformed Church, the C of E Church, the C of S Church, the whatever else church, the whatever church, they shouldn't exist. They shouldn't. Because when God has moved, and when God is doing a new thing, people should move to that. But there's a reason why people don't. And as I say, we need to understand why people don't. As I said at the beginning, that's a big thing for why. If you're Jewish and you understand that your people rejected the Messiah, that your grandfather, your uncles, and even your father and your mother rejected the Messiah. If you honour those people, there's even a point that I said before, and the same as Christian ministers in church. If you're a Christian minister and you honour the person who taught you and the person who taught them, it's very difficult to go against what they taught. It is really, because you think that you're judging them. You're not, because if you look at it from the point of view that they couldn't understand what you understand now, because they're not you and they're not here now. If you go from that understanding, you're not judging the people. You're saying they understood what they understood because at that point in time they were supposed to understand that. The problem is that's wisdom, and that doesn't come from doing church or being trained in some Bible college. Look, with regards to Bible college, my point with Bible college is quite simple. Same as any other college. If you go to Bible college, the most ideal way of doing that is to basically teach a certain way, and in every single Bible college around the world, you'll be teaching basically the same thing because you're producing the same thing. Because if it works over there, then you do the same thing. The problem is that isn't God. Not in any way, shape or form. That isn't God. And there's no nuance involved in that. There's no considering where the person's going to and what that place may need. That's why I cannot stand that way of doing things. Now, do I believe that God can use people in that? Of course. But it's not his way of training people. Because it isn't. It's the world's way. I had to do it because I spoke about it again, and it's true though. It is the world's way. Anyway, okay. Not much more to say. I experienced something on Saturday. I'm not going to talk about it yet. I'm trying to understand it right now. It knocked me for 6 again. Well, the reason why it knocked me for 6 again is because, again, it's that point of, just feeling very insecure about what I know and what I believe and whether I'm on the right path, because the fruit is dark. The fruit doesn't seem good. It seems dead. It seems. I say that's what it seems. And I thought after the dogs situation, losing my dogs, and the court case where the solicitors told me you can't trust the sheriff and you can't trust the systems, you've got to plead guilty to something. I thought that was the last of it. I thought that was it. I thought the brokenness had been done. And then last night, God's reminding me of the point that it's quite likely that we choose our challenges before we are even born. And so I said to God this morning, can I see the list of the things I chose, please? Is there anything else there that I need to be aware of? Because, it seems as if there may very well be more things there. But last night I just got to the point of saying to God, I just feel very insecure about things right now. And it's not good because, you know, with the court case, I believe that God was going to do something beautiful for it, and he didn't. Not in the court case itself. So, yeah. But, yeah. So, I've got my 2 dogs now, anyway. And I realised yesterday that with Saul, Saul's an absolute sweetheart. Because I was having moments yesterday while I was feeling quite low. And standing by the bed, and then Saul would jump up on the bed and roll on his back for a belly rub. And if I didn't immediately give him a belly rub, he'd jump up and start kissing me. And it's like, well, the perfect dog. Yeah. 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 They say they work so very, very well. And they say they love you the same way that God does. Really. So, yeah. So, anyway, there you go. I will share what God wants me to share when he wants me to share it, okay? So you take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing. Be blessed. Bye-bye.